Welcome back to Theme Park Wizard. In today's video, I'm going to rank all the rides from least intense to most intense. The world famous studio tour is just a tram ride with no restraints at all. And because of that, but it does have some shaky moments and some sound stages, and the tram really does jolt around. So because of that, I'll give it an intensity of about 2. But it's a very nice ride for the whole family. Even babies can get on it. Look at Kung Fu Panda. We got the Dreamworks Theater over here, and this is it's a Shrek 4D. It's a 4D theater right over here, and because of that, it doesn't actually do too much movement. Anyone can get on it, no restraints, and I feel like it actually does even less movement than it did when it opened. So I'll give this one a 2. Over here at Despicable Me, it's just basically a milder version of the Simpsons Ride. A simulator attraction that is meant for everyone. It does have a restraint system though, but it's really meant for everyone if you meet the little height requirement they have. So I'll give this one a 5 in terms of intensity. Moving over to Secret Life of Pets, this one has an unnecessary restraint system. It really should be the same restraint system as the Haunted Mansion, because it is the Haunted Mansion. It's an omni-mover attraction, and with a 35-minute wait time, and it's just absolutely loving it. Super awesome. You should definitely check out Secret Life of Pets. But the intensity is just 0 on this one because there's really no movement at all. Next up, The Simpsons is a motion simulator ride on the same vein as Star Tours, but it's a little much less jerky than Star Tours. And for that reason, I'm gonna give it about a 6 in intensity. It's not too bad. Certainly more intense than Minions, but not as intense as Star Tours. So yeah, give about a 6 for Simpsons. And also, you can get these nice little carnival games afterwards if you ever want to play those. Next up, we got Transformers, which is basically the same ride system as Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. And in this ride, it's just a dark ride, but it's pretty jerky at times, especially if you're in the back or the front row, I realize. Pretty jerky, so in that way, it can be pretty intense in and of itself. So definitely go ahead and be careful on that. And I'd give it about a 7 in intensity. Coming up next is the Mummy, which is quite the experience. It is a high-speed, thrilling roller coaster ride, and this has forwards and backwards launches. It goes up to 42 miles per hour, one of the fastest rides here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Actually, the second fastest, actually 45 miles per hour, but second fastest ride next to that one. But yeah, it's quite the experience. It's one that I'll give it a 9 out of 10 in terms of intensity. The little kids should be aware of this guy. Looking at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, this ride is basically kind of a suspended Dark Knight ride that's not suspended. You're sitting in a seat, but it's on a bench with heavy restraints, but it's 16 feet above the ground. It makes some very big movements, and at one point you're almost upside down. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 10. A 10, tied with Jurassic World as the most intense ride in the theme park. Moving on over to Flight of the Hippogriff right next to it. This is a junior coaster, but it's a pretty cool layout and has a nice pop of airtime right there. And because of that, and it's just a very short run time, but because it has that very nice pop of airtime, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an intensity rating of 4. The most intense ride here at Universal Studios Hollywood, in my opinion, Jurassic World. At the end, that drop is quite intense, as it is a near vertical degree drop. It's 85 feet. 85 feet! Come all the way from below the sign, all the way down here. You get your picture taken right next to the Raptor encounter. And you get quite soakingly, not here, but on other parts of the attraction as well. There's some great animatronic dinosaurs. And again, also the drop is in not complete darkness. You can see the bottom. But it's an 85-foot degree near vertical drop in the dark. This one is certainly a 10 out of 10 in intensity. And it looks gorgeous at nighttime as well. This beautiful waterfall here. Yeah, it's quite the intense ride. Boom!
Alright, so my list might not be the same as Theme Park Wizards, but I'm going to do them anyways. Coming in at 9th, the least intense ride is going to be Secret Life of Pets. It's just a dark ride, so not very intense. Coming in at 8th is going to be Kung Fu Panda. It is just a theater, but it is a little bit intense, so if you have kids that are afraid of that, just beware. It is slightly intense, although it's still a show. Coming in at number 7 is going to be Super Silly Ride. It's kind of like a Dumbo clone, so it's not very intense, but it is a spinner ride. If you get motion sickness or you're pregnant, you might want to avoid it. Coming in at number 6 is going to be, damn, I gotta think about it. All right, coming in at number 6 is going to be Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. This is a theater ride, so it's not super intense, but it can make you squirmish, and if you get sick by like Star Tours, then you might want to avoid it because it might make you sick. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Flight of the Hippogriff. This is a family coaster, kind of like Gadget's Go Coaster at Disneyland. Oh, nice. So if you get sick off coasters, you might want to avoid this. It is a coaster, so it's a little bit intense, but it's a family coaster, so nothing too crazy. Coming in at number 4 is Transformers 3D. This ride is pretty intense, so if you do get fearful off of like screens or fire effects, and you'll want to avoid this ride. If you like that stuff, it's going to be great. Coming in at number 3 is Mummy. This is a coaster, a pretty fast coaster, and it also goes backwards. So if you don't like coasters, avoid this ride. If you like coasters, this is going to be for you. That brings us to our top 2. This is where myself and Theme Park Wizard differ. I have the second most intense ride as Jurassic World. This has a huge drop, so if you're afraid of drops, avoid this ride. If you like drops, you're going to love it. But the reason why it's not number 1 is because it's just a drop that's intense. Coming in at number 1 is Forbidden Journey. This ride has giant spiders, huge, super high up. It has Dementors. It's just a freaky ride. It's very compact. So if you're afraid of rides like that, you're gonna want to avoid it. It's the most intense ride at Universal Studios, but it's a great one. Comes into the most intense ride.
Somewhere in there is the studio tour, which is
as well.
Still a ride.
Yes, not very intense, but it does have some intense scenes. So
perfect. Thanks for joining me, and nice finally seeing you over here.
Yes, finally.
April 22nd.
We're gonna be hanging out at Disneyland soon, so you guys be on the lookout.
Better.